This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Brittany Merlot. The Madison community is rocked by yesterday's school shooting. Savannah Tommy Olsen has the very latest.
Police say the suspect shot 8 people at Abundant Life Christian School and then died by suicide before authorities came into the building. A teacher and a student were killed. 2 people are in the hospital fighting for their lives. 4 people, 3 students and a teacher, are expected to be okay. 2 of them have been sent home from the hospital. 9 schools in the Madison Metropolitan School District and some from Monona Grove were put on a secure hold yesterday. This tragedy goes so far beyond just that school community. County Executive Melissa Agard.
As a mom who received a text from her son at a high school here in the city of Madison wondering if he was safe, I can tell you this hits you in the gut. Every one of us is affected by this unimaginable and unacceptable violence that has hit our community.
Police Chief Sean Barnes.
Right now, my heart is heavy for my community. My heart is heavy for Madison, and we have to come together as a community and figure out what happened here and make sure that it doesn't happen in any other place that should be a refuge for students in our community.
The Crime Response Unit from the Dane County District Attorney's Office has been mobilized. That team includes social workers, and their goal is to support survivors and family members. And the word survivor doesn't just mean the people who were shot yesterday. It includes everybody who was in that building, students, teachers, other staff, and the terrified family members worried for their kids. There are also specially trained officers at the police department to check in on their peers who experienced trauma in their response. Trish Kilpin, director of the Wisconsin Office of School Safety, says they've gotten more tips about school threats since the shooting.
It is true that in light of school shootings, we also see an uptick, a contagion effect of other school threats. In SUSO is our Speak Up, Speak Out Wisconsin tip line where people can report concerns. We have seen an increase in planned school attack tips. Often after an incident such as that happened here in Madison, people start to think about, I should have reported this, I have knowledge that someone could be planning a school attack, and they need to have a place to report that. So we encourage the community at large, students and families, to report to SUSO or their local law enforcement or local school officials if they have concerns that somebody is planning a school attack.
Before the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, there had been a threat to the Green Bay Area School District. They believed it was not credible, but they still had extra police at their schools yesterday. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes.
Anyone who makes a call or threat to a school, we will investigate that. And if you're found to be the person to make that call, you will be arrested.
The Office of School Safety has all kinds of resources available to Wisconsin schools. Public, private, doesn't matter. They have guidance on what to do if parents or staff are worried about a student, how to talk to kids about making false threats. And actually, the majority of the tips they get are to report bullying. That Speak Up, Speak Out tip line within the Wisconsin Department of Justice has gotten more than 350 tips since it began in 2020.
You can submit a tip online or call their hotline. Officials say to never brush off a potential threat. Flags are at half-staff across the state today. Governor Tony Evers ordered the flags to immediately be lowered last night through Sunday. And the United Way of Dane County set up an emergency recovery fund to help the victims of the deadly shooting. You can donate by texting HELP for ALCS to 40403. Again, that's HELP, the number 4, ALCS to 40403. The United Way says 100% of the funds will go directly to Abundant Life Christian School. A minor traffic stop turned into a vehicle pursuit in the village of Rib Mountain over the weekend. On Saturday, around 10 a.m., a Marathon County Sheriff's deputy received information from a stopped vehicle of a possible burglary and vehicle theft happening a short distance away. When the deputy arrived, they saw a pickup truck speeding away from the area. The pursuit made its way west on County Highway N. when the driver of the truck attempted to evade the deputy by traveling through an open field. They traveled back east toward Rib Mountain through numerous roads in the village and also through yards on the back streets. With assistance from other departments, the truck was eventually stopped on County Highway N near Jonquil Lane. Several squad cars and trucks were damaged, but no citizens or law enforcement officers were injured. The suspect received a minor injury to his leg. Officials confirmed that the truck was stolen and multiple pieces of stolen property were recovered, including firearms. Law enforcement has a reason to believe the suspect and others are responsible for several other crimes that have happened in recent weeks. And will gas prices increase because of an oil pipeline spill in southwestern Wisconsin? Here's Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska.
A November oil spill in Jefferson County from an Enbridge pipeline is estimated to be around 1,700 barrels, a relatively small number, according to Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy.
To put this 1,650 barrels into context, that is less than 1/5 of 1 percentage point of the amount of oil this pipeline carries.
DeHaan says the spill won't affect oil or gas prices.
And the location for a new Aspirus Chippewa Falls hospital is heading to City Council for approval. Plans submitted to the city say that the hospital would go in on the southeast side of town along Chippewa Crossing Boulevard, which is west of Highway 178. The land is currently owned by the city, and the new Aspirus hospital would include primary care, inpatient services, and an emergency room. They hope to open by the summer of 2026, and the plans for this proposed location head to the City Council today. I'm Brittany Merlot for WXCO.
Bucks basketball tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. It's the Bucks and the Thunder in Las Vegas for the NBA Cup Championship. Doc Rivers asked about the Thunder, one of the youngest teams in the league, featuring Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, against the Bucks, now one of the oldest.
They're good. I enjoy watching them play. Shai's one of my favorite players. I actually got to coach him in his rookie year. But and I joke about it. And all these young teams are flying around, and we're going to come in with our little canes and wheelchairs and play them.
College hoops, the Badgers' next game coming up Sunday when they host Detroit Mercy. Wisconsin dropped out of the AP Top 25 rankings after losing 3 straight last week, but beat Butler over the weekend.
Much happier locker room than we've had the last 3 games, and I think these guys really have earned it. And obviously, when you play really good teams, you're going to have adversity, and how you respond to that and how you use those experiences to grow, I think, tells us a lot about the character of the young men in our locker room, and I couldn't be happier for them.
That's Badgers head basketball coach Greg Gard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. It's been a rough go over the second half of Season 5 on Yellowstone. In the first episode of Part 2, producers killed off the main character, John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner. A fine how do you do for his welcome back after a hiatus and tension between he and executive producer Taylor Sheridan. And in the season finale, a major character was also killed, polarizing the audience. The New York Post reports that social media reaction has compared it to the last episode of Game of Thrones, which also wasn't popular. Home Alone is on most people's favorite list when it comes to Christmas movies. The film is so iconic that Kevin, or Macaulay Culkin, actually thought about purchasing the home, which is in Winnetka, Illinois, on Chicago's North Shore. The house has only been sold twice since the film was released, and this time sold after only a week on the market for $5 million smackers. Culkin said he was seriously considering it, but got busy with his kids. Sounds like he's much more attentive than his movie parents. Moana 2 remained king of the box office last weekend. In its third weekend of release, the film pulled in over $26 million, putting it in first place yet again. Moana 2 and Wicked have a nice little competition going. Even though Moana 2 broke records, it might not catch Wicked when it comes to the total take. Wicked has pulled in $359 million domestically, and Moana 2 is at $337 million. They are neck and neck, which might be too much of a deficit for Moana 2 to overcome when it comes to the holiday season box office champ. Wicked remains strong at the gate, also finishing in second place last week with $22.5 million. Action-adventure film Kraven the Hunter, starring Russell Crowe and Aaron Taylor Johnson, is a box office dud, finishing with a disappointing $11 million in its first week of release. Gladiator 2 held strong in fourth place with $7.5 million, and the new animated Lord of the Rings film finished in fifth place with a disappointing total of less than $5 million. Lisa Kudrow is not a fan of AI and let Tom Hanks know about it. Kudrow appeared on the Armchair Expert podcast and referenced Hanks' recent film Here, in which AI helped depict Hanks and co-star Robin Wright over the course of several decades. Kudrow criticized Hanks and director Robert Zemeckis, saying it could affect the need for actors, and that it was an endorsement for AI, adding that it might not ruin everything, but you will basically just be licensing actors' images and not letting them actually act. There is a new teaser trailer for White Lotus Season 3. The third installment of the show will be set in Thailand. Mike White returns as the show's creator and and will also direct the season as he did the previous two. Season 3 stars Carrie Coons, Leslie Bibb, Parker Posey, and Walton Goggins. Season 2 won the Emmy for Best Drama Series. Season 3 drops February 16th on HBO. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Breezy this morning, mostly cloudy all day today. We'll get to around 30 for a high this afternoon. Some light snow tonight, less than a half inch, 22 tomorrow. Gradual clearing with a high of 26. We have more snow on the way for late Wednesday night and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 30.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.